Hello guys, in this video I will discuss about the first step to predict hospital readmissions, that is data pre-processing. I have already given the quick view of how to use machine learning to predict hospital readmissions in the previous video. So let's again have a look over the dataset. We are having 50 features in the dataset, but you can also see there are some missing values in the dataset, that is this question mark variable. Also, we are having several irrelevant data. So for balancing the dataset, we need to apply data pre-processing. So let's start with the steps involved in data pre-processing and feature engineering. Our first step is cleaning task. It involves dropping the bad data and dealing with missing values. Our second step is modification of existing features. That is, in this step we will be applying standardization, log transform methods. And the third step is creation of new features. It means that we will derive new features from the existing ones. I will describe the implementation of all these steps later in this video. So now let's come to Jupyter Notebook and start with importing some of the Python libraries. Before importing, you need to install these libraries in your system using terminal. So first of all, we have imported Pandas library as PD for loading the CSV file as a data frame. Thereafter, we have imported NumPy, which is the fundamental package for scientific computing with Python, and it is also used for n-dimensional array. Thereafter we have imported statistics module, as it provides functions for calculating mathematical statistics of numerical data. Thereafter we have imported Matplotlib, which is a 2D plotting library for generating interactive plots and histograms. Again, we have imported min-max scaler from sklearn, as it transforms features by scaling each feature to a given range. I will show you the working of these libraries later in this video. So now let's begin with loading the dataset using Pandas. Let's run this code. So after loading the dataset, we can display the number of rows and columns in the dataset. So in this way we can display the number of rows and columns in the dataset, that is using shape function. So this is the number of rows and this is the number of columns in our dataset. Now let's examine the data type of each features using describe function. So using describe function, this is the output which we have got. Now to get information about each and every features of our dataset, we can use info function. So here all the data types of each and every features are displayed over here. Now let's display the first 5 rows of the dataset using head function. So here is the output. You can see that data is quite imbalanced. Also in the dataset you can see that here is the readmitted feature, that is here the number of readmissions are displayed. So we are having 3 values in readmission feature, that is no, greater than 30 and less than 30. So no signifies over here that this patient was not readmitted into the hospital. Greater than 30 signifies that the patient was readmitted after 30 days into the hospital, and less than 30 signifies that the patient was readmitted into the hospital within 30 days. Now we are making a copy of a data frame for pre-processing. That is, we are copying df-ori data frame into the df data frame. Now let's run this command, that is code. Now we will calculate the number of missing values in the dataset. So this is the code for that. So we will calculate the number of rows or columns which contains null value. Like you can see the code over here. Missing values dot number of missing values greater than 0. Now let's run this code. Since there are no missing values, that is, there are no rows and columns where there is none value, that's why we didn't get any output over here. Now let's proceed forward. Now we are creating a new feature, that is service utilization, from the existing features, that is number outpatient, number emergency, and number inpatient. As the service utilization data contains variables for number of inpatient, that is number of patient for admissions, emergency room visits, and outpatient visits for a given patient in a previous 1 year. That's why we have combined all these features into a new variable, that is service utilization, as it gives us better results. Now we are re-encoding admission type ID, discharge disposition ID, and admission source ID into few categories, as there are quite a few categories for these features. So we have collapsed these variables into fewer categories where it made sense. For example, admission types 1, 2, and 7 correspond to emergency, urgent care, and trauma, and thus we have combined all these admission types into a single category, as these all are non-elective situations. Now we will calculate the number of rows and columns which contains question mark, that is this variable, and again we are having a gender feature which contains unknown or invalid value. So first of all we will calculate the number of rows and columns which contains such values, and this is the output of this code. Like we are having 2273 rows having question mark variable in race feature, and again in gender we are having 3 unknown or invalid value. Now let's come to recoding the outcome variable. The outcome variable we are looking at is whether the patient gets readmitted to the hospital within 30 days or not. The variable actually has greater than 30, less than 30, and no value or no categories. So we have re-encoded all these categories into 0, 1, and 2. Also using count function we have counted the number of readmissions after 30 days, the number of readmissions within 30 days, and no readmissions, and this is the output displayed over here. Now I am done with this video. I will discuss about the further steps in the next video, so stay tuned. Thank you.